An angry mob of Muslims in Dagestan, Russia, they formed, I guess you would call it, a lynch mob, chain gang?
That's exactly right, yeah.
Looking for, and this isn't just a protest, they were actually seeking out an alleged flight of Jews from Israel to try and, well, in their own words, kill them.
Стойте здесь! Азиза позови! Аллаху Акбар!
Какой целью сообщил, братишка?
Я за еврейцами.
За еврейцами?
Я тоже за еврейцами.
These are children listening on audio. Came for the Jews to kill them. What will you kill them with? A knife.
Ты зачем сюда пришел?
А?
Ты зачем? Из чего? Ты камни кидал там?
Нет.
За еврейцами, да, вы пришли?
Да.
Все, тигры здесь. До утра здесь стойте, поняли?
Хорошо.
Все, давай.
Now, that terminal is still safer than that of Spirit Airlines here in Texas. 60 people were arrested in the, let's not call it riot, let's call it attempted murder of Jews. Used to be if you wanted to kill Jews in an airport, you'd have to connect in Fort Lauderdale, and now you just, hey, Dagestan works.
Dagestan, I guess, yeah.
It's a country where the national sport is MMA. I want to say something.
The national sport is beating Jews.
Well, yes, Jew hunting is also huge.
It's very large.
But if I may, I think if you are Jewish and you're caught in Dagestan, because it's not a great vacation spot, but they do have nice mountains.
Their tourism campaign is better than the actual.
Yeah, and if you want to brush up on your takedown defense or your single leg, it's a good place to go. If you are in a situation like that and a mob in Dagestan comes at you and you're Jewish, what you want to do is throw books at them, and they will scatter the way mice do. I'm sorry, elephants do when they see mice. So that's what So it's kind of like with the leprechaun. If you throw shoes,
he has to cobble them.
It's a
compulsion.
Yeah, and
like Dagestanis have to run away from books.
Well, in that situation,
yes, and that's it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't have the data on that, but I'm pretty sure.
There was a hotel, by the way, in Dagestan. That was searched for Jews by angry locals. They were just looking through. By the way, if you're a decent person in Dagestan and you have Jews in your hotel and angry Muslims, like don't tell them.
Yeah, you don't know. Maybe
we have Jews here.
Yeah, don't tell them. Like if someone, and by the way, that applies also in Dearborn. If you're in Lebanon, like if you're a decent person, even if you're a Muslim, but you don't want to see Jews killed, if they come like, you will tell me what every last Jew is. Don't.
No. Well, it was a George Soros-owned hotel, though. So, yeah. It's like, Jews on every floor.
Yeah. There's just a hologram hand.
Ding, ding. I think it's seriously... Ding, ding. Yeah, I think it's seriously significant, though, that we live in 2023. Jews are actually having to hide in this country, being told not to go outside in Flatbush, Brooklyn.
But certainly everywhere in Islamic countries. I mean, think about that. They're looking for Jews in a hotel, and it turns out, by the way, they didn't find... They didn't find any. Well, they found a single one, but that's because all the other rooms were drafty.
He's a Jew! A Jew! Stop the Jew! Don't let him out!
Wow.
To those who are worried, they made it out.
He did make it.
Yes. He made it out, had a wonderful career.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, Asteroid City...
By the way, they stormed this airport. There's other videos out there of them going up the escalators in this massive crowd looking for people, actually out on the tarmac next to planes. I think they ended up talking to one poor guy that they thought was a Jew. That I don't even know if he was or not. But like, this is literally like, hey, this is Germany in the 1930s, more so than I think we've ever seen outside of that time period. Like, I understand there's anti-Semitism. I understand there's isolated cases. But when they literally storm an airport, one of the most secure places in a country typically, they are looking for people to kill because they suspected there were people on this flight from Tel Aviv that were Jewish.
What's really bothersome, what's really weird and ironic is that typically throughout history, it was the Christians that killed the Jews, and they would go to Muslim countries because the Muslims would give them safe quarter because they were quote unquote people of the book. So that was typical. And now with this Hamas stuff, well, in recent history, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, but those usually coincided with wars for land because they also killed more Christians than anyone else too. Like people don't realize that when you're talking about the Inquisition. The same thing is if you look at Islam, though, they just at a certain point they want to kill all of them. You either convert, you're subjugated, or everybody gets killed. That is the rule. That is the law of Islam. That is what they call dhimmitud. So Dagestan's not the only place, by the way, where people are protesting against Israel or committing mass crimes against Jews right now. And remember when they said anti-Semitic crimes are on the rise because Donald Trump...
Of course it was his fault.
I hope if you're out there, Jews, remember, and this has nothing to do with the conflict. Again, not one American body. I think that we should not be funding both sides of the war, but from the standpoint of moral support, kill every single last member of Hamas with prejudice, no quarter, no mercy, period. Okay, that is my stance.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.